YouTube, Semkyu here and welcome to my Pokemon Gym review. This is the second part and we're reviewing the great and beautiful land of Johto. We'll be reviewing the gyms based usually on their aesthetic, puzzle, and level design or their unique and interesting aspects. From that, we'll be rating them from 1 to 5 stars. Our first gym is the beautiful city of Wings and Freedom, led by Faulkner, the Violet City Gym. So, this gym is a very simple one, typical for a first gym, and for a first gym, it incorporates a very unique style where there are holes in it to give a sense of space and elevation in a 2D display screen. And what's interesting about this gym is the color palette, which is very nice, and the very interesting symbol in the middle of the pathways, which looks like a money sign. Outside of that, it's not really that much interesting. But moving on to its second and modern version, we have this gym transformed into a proper flying gym where there's like an actual area for air and stuff, and it looks like it's placed on a very high place. And the black holes earlier in the second generation is now an actual pitfalls, and the walkways are wooden platforms where you stand on and let your flying Pokemon battle in the air. And it also keeps the money looking symbol in the middle, and I think the gym looks really great. I do think that the wooden platform doesn't really suit the modern looking walls, but that's okay. For that, I will give this Violet City Gym a simple 3 stars. It's simple, but there's a lot of aspects of it that you would want to see on a flying type gym. Next up, we have the very cool city and very chill city of Azalea. This gym is led by none other than the bag catcher known as Bugsy. The gym is quite pretty looking, with a very visually appealing look to it, with flowers, grass, and in the middle of the gym there's a beautiful tree right there. It's not as big as I would want it to be, but it's looking very nice. And what's interesting about it is that you could see that the pattern from the tiles and such with the grass, it looks like a Pokeball, signifying that it is a gym in the forest where you catch stuff like bugs, you know? And with that, during its second iteration or modern version, the gym got a massive overhaul with its design and such. It no longer has that very serene place looking. It's more of an actual jungle with webs and stuff. And actually, this one has a puzzle in it, more of a passing puzzle where you have to pick the right strings and webs to get to the other side. And actually, the Spinarak ride is actually very nice looking and such. And as you can see here, the big tree that I would have wanted during its first iteration is now actually very big, with Bugsy standing under it. And I think this gym looks really good, especially with the colored webs and such. With that, I would give the Azalea City Gym a good 4 star. Moving on to the Gym of Nightmares, and where hopes and dreams are shattered by our very nice looking gym leader Whitney and her massive milk tank that is so strong with its rollout and such. This gym is a normal type gym with a lot of emphasis on cutesy stuff because of Whitney liking cutesy stuff. Aside from that, it's usually composed of the tiles and flowers and stuff, such as walls. And what's very interesting about this gym is they actually made a pixel art of Clefable in terms of the gym level design, in terms of pattern. Other than that, there's not really much of a puzzle here, but it is a very nice looking gym and such. And the color really suits Whitney's design. And for its modern variation, we have this, which is actually much nicer looking in my opinion. The elevation in terms of padding and such really makes this gym much more like a proper gym and such, with not much of a puzzle, but it is passing is quite a nice puzzle for simplicity and such. And you can see that the color blue and orange really coordinates well with the pink backgrounds and walls. And I think the design of Clefable is much more detailed now due to the elevation and such. With all of that said, I would give this gym a massive 4 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars, yeah. Moving on to our next gym, the Eclotech City Gym, led by our first ghost type gym leader, Morty. During its first iteration, it looks like this, which is a simple tower dojo design, old stuff that you see just like in the tower near it. And the puzzle is supposed to be you have to try to find the proper path while inside that black part in the middle towards Morty. However, I think the looks are really not very good and such, because if you remove all those pillars and such, you would think that this gym is just another building in that town and any other town. And the concept of making the passing very dark and such is not really executed well in the second gym due to the limitations of its hardware and software, but I guess that's fine for a puzzle. Now, moving on to its modern counterpart. With this, you can actually realize the full potential of the idea of the gym, where you are actually navigating the spooky corridors of the gym, which is a dark hallway, and it looks pretty nice. As you can see from its full overview over here on the right side, the gym actually looks nice and it's very foggy. It's like the middle of an ocean with smoke and stuff, fog, and where you get lost and spooky stuff happens, you know? Instead of a simple looking dojo tower house thing, old house thing, such that. And I think the color palette really makes this gym look very nice, along with the candles near Morty and the entrance to give us a lighting. Because of that, I would give this gym a 4 stars, very spooky and such. Our next gym is the Humble Gym in an island, which is the Cianwood City Gym, led by our buff, cool-looking gym leader, Chuck. Okay, this gym adopts a look of another towers. If you remove all the black part of Morty's gym and the rocks in the middle of this gym, you would really think that this gym is just like any other building in the Johto region. And the only thing that makes this gym interesting, which is not seen in this picture, is that here there is like a very small strength puzzle. So before you get into Chuck, it doesn't really look nice in terms of aesthetic, but okay. Moving on to its modern counterpart, which is this type. What I really like about this gym is that it incorporates the island feel and nature aspect of the gym, because the gym is actually located in a very secluded area of an island, and this gym has rocks, water, and wood, which is good for, like, you know, martial arts training and such. So what's interesting about this gym is you need to climb these cascades to get onto the top and turn off the water so that Chuck would be able to fight you, which is a really nice one. It's not really much of a puzzle, but it's a nice addition to the gym in terms of interesting aspects to it. And I think because of how nice it looks, overall, I'm gonna give it a 3 stars. The early version of the gym really held it back quite a bit. Moving on to the gym, you need to fix the lighthouse problem. The Ampharos, we have Jasmine from the Olivine City Gym. Now, she is the first gym leader for a type that was introduced in that game. So let's see what her gym looks like. And it's a a cave with rocks and a straight line to it. Honestly, this gym looks really bad. Like, what is happening here? There's not much effort into it. It looks just like Brock's gym, but much worse because there's no actual connection to the steel types, and the passing is much more linear and uninteresting than Brock's gym. With that, we're gonna move on to its modern counterpart. And it looks much better in terms of aesthetics with the steel beams and the very metallic looks, and also the palace in which Jasmine stands under looks very nice. However, this gym is really uninteresting for around the 6th gym, and it's not very appealing and such. It looks like Brock's gym, but much more bland and such in terms of design. Like, if you could go back to the previous video, you can see that Brock's gym looks much nicer than this. And I think still is a far more better type than Rock in terms of aesthetics. So I guess that's it. Because of this very lacking gym, I would give the Olivine City Gym a 2-star rating. Moving on to the Mahogany Town City Gym. Compared to other gyms, this gym is located in a simple, humble town led by our very cold-looking gym leader named Bryce. And I think that his fit looks very nice. So let's see what his gym is all about. This gym is actually one of the very first few gyms that incorporates an actual interesting puzzle in terms of the Johto region. And it is a nice puzzle, which is a type of puzzle that you may or may not like, but in my opinion, I think ice puzzles are really interesting, and I like the way my character slides through the ice. So in terms of design, the gym walls looks very nice in terms of incorporating that icy feeling to it, and the ice themselves look very nice. The only critique I will have for this gym is that there's nothing really interesting in terms of the pathing. You know, it's a very simple ice design with a simple puzzle in mind. Moving on to its modern variation, we have this. Now, this gym is separated into 3 rooms where you have to complete the ice puzzle before moving on to the next room. So, what's really interesting about this gym is the first gym, I think, that incorporates separate rooms inside the gym, if I recall correctly. And the ice puzzles are made in such a way that it is really compact and very nice to solve, because it's not a whole thing where if you messed up once, you kind of have to do it all over again by having a very large solution to the puzzle. So in terms of aesthetic, this one looks really nice at conveying the icy cavern aesthetic. And the walls with the ice spikes, the floor which has good tiles with some parts covered in a thin layer of ice, and the ice themselves looks much more nice, with the ice looking very connected to each other. I also like the additions of the ice rocks and the ice walls and such to the puzzle, which makes this puzzle much more interesting. And at the end, we will fight Bryce. So, because of all of those things, I would give this gym a solid cold 5 stars. And for our last gym, headed by a beautiful lady right here, which she is a dragon tamer named Claire, reigning from the Blackthorn City Gym. This gym looks very unassuming, but it's actually a very nice looking gym. The brick floor and the brick walls made it look very nice and appealing in terms of representing that dragon castle look to it, with the lava and such. It also has stairs for the pathing and such, and other than that, It's not really that much interesting, but it has a very nice look for it, considering the game it was on. And for its modern variation, I think out of all the gym, this one looks the best. The lava looks really, really dangerous and it really pops, you know. And the dragon castle aesthetic to it is much more amplified with the suit, with the teeth, and the black walls, the ground, and such. And overall, this gym looks very, very nice. And it also has a very interesting puzzle attached to it. This gym is a grade 8 gym. The puzzle it has is, you can see the arrows on our main character here. And that arrow indicates that these platforms can be moved and such to traverse the lava and move on to the next big platforms. And until you reach Claire herself. And that is really, really interesting. And overall, I think just this gym looks really, really nice. With that, I would give this gym a solid 4 stars. I would have expected more from the last gym during its Generation 2 variation. That's why it has only 4 stars. With that wraps up all of the 8 gyms in the Johto region. And if I were to give this gym a rating, I would give it a solid 3 stars. The gym overall has a nice upgrade in terms of the aesthetics and the puzzles and such. However, there are really some bad ones in the middle parts of the Johto gyms that really drag it down back. In comparing it to the Kanto gym, these gyms in Johto has a much higher highs and a lower lows. And with that, that will be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching and press like and subscribe. And if you want to see the first part, which is my video on covering the gym reviews for the Kanto gyms, you can press the video right over here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!